Hi, I'm Lemmy from lotr. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are finally painting the king himself from khazad, Durin. But before I show you how I painted my Durin for the biggest dwarf army on YouTube, I want to show you... No, I don't want to show you anything. I want to ask you if you guys would be interested if I showed you my journey through Napoleonics. Some of you might have seen my video about how I painted my high elves, but in that video I also show some footage from my journey to Waterloo, where I watched the reenactment of the Battle of Waterloo, or Waterloo if you're English. And yeah, it was an amazing time, and I bought some minis there. It's 1/72 scale. It's smaller than Lord of the Rings. But I actually just started painting them to get a little bit of a respite from my dwarf army, because I am painting up a storm at the moment, and some other armies as well I'm working on. If you would be interested to see my journey through Napoleonics, I'm still learning a lot and looking up a lot of stuff. But if you would be interested, leave a comment down below to, well, join me in a journey. I don't know what I'm doing in Napoleonics whatsoever. So yeah, and I hope you will enjoy seeing me painting Durin. As of recording this intro, I already painted him, and I'm actually very happy with how he came out. I tried some new things, kind of new I believe. I don't remember ever trying them, so they're new for me. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, let's go to the desk. Hello and welcome back to the desk. As you can see, I have Durin already primed up and ready to go. I also based him already. It is similar to all the other dwarves I have painted so far. And to start off, I decided to paint his cloak blue, since I wanted to give a little throwback to my, well, I believe my very first or second video I ever made, painting old school Erebor dwarves, which I used dwarf warriors and yeah, some source material I found in the Shadows and Flame book, I believe. Yeah, one of those old Games Workshop books. And I wasn't sure if I actually liked the Temple Guard blue cloak. So instead of dwelling on it for too long, I decided to paint his face cadian fleshtone. I wanted to do this before I painted anything else around his head, because it's recessed and it will be harder to mess up once it's already painted. If I started with the gold or something of his crown and I painted cadian fleshtone afterward, I do shake a little. It has actually become slightly better since the start of this channel, but you can probably notice, so I realized cadian fleshtone would be a better pick to start off with. I used ironbreaker for his mail to give the nice shiny look, to make sure that he stands out a little bit more. I believe the normal dwarf warriors I painted lead belcher, yes, painted lead belcher on the metal parts. But this is Durin, King of Moria. He deserves to be a little bit more special, he deserves to be more noticeable. And after painting his mail, I I realized I really didn't like the temple color blue cloak, and I took a little break from painting him. That's something I actually advise to do if you're doubting your color scheme, and I pondered. I pondered for way too long and decided to just give him a khorne red cloak, but I'll do a little bit more with the cloak later on, you'll see. So after repainting the entire cloak khorne red, I decided the dryad bark would be next. I used it for the belt, his pouch that's sticking out right next to his cloak, and of course his shoes. And I had to tie him in with the rest of my dwarves. So I used Sons of Horus Green. I don't know why I'm reading from my paint scheme and I typed Sons of Horus Grey. It should be green. I'll edit that before it goes to YouTube. If you didn't know, I have all my paints that I use in the video in the description below. So I used Sons of Horus Green. Sons of Horus Green for the cloak underneath his mail. But before I got there, I decided it's time to paint his beard. And as a base layer I used stormvermin fur, just to give him that little bit more of an aged look. Like he's more wise, he has seen through a lot of battles. And for the crown I used liberator gold. For the indentations on the crown I used as well ironbreaker, should have set it there. Also for the details on his axe I used liberator gold. It's the axe of Durin, it needs some bling, it needs to stand out, because Durin is a badass. Now World Bearer's red for his gloves. Once again I use this with most of my dwarves. I really like to tie them in. Use a lot of the same colors for the same faction. But each time I try to make it a little bit more them. Use those colors in a way to make them stand out just that little bit more. Now corvus black, I only used that for the handle of his axe, for the little bit that I left sticking out. Now, I use nuln oil for his cloak. The iron, pretty much everything that is not flesh or brown or green. Because for the flesh I used reikland fleshshade, kroak green for the cloak underneath his mail, and agrax earthshade for all the browns we've used. It's only one brown, one brown. Oh, and also agrax earthshade on Whirlbearer's red. To make sure there is a difference between his cloak and his gloves, I used agrax earthshade. It gives a little bit more of a leathery red look. And now because this is Durin, I decided he should get some more, well, attention compared to the most other dwarves in this army. So I took dawnstone and a really fine paintbrush and tried to highlight his beard wherever I could, where the light would naturally shine, the raised edges. Here and there I painted a little stroke or two where there wasn't a raised edge, just to give it a little bit more detail. And now for the special part with his cloak. Instead of actually diluting this, I just used it straight from my paint pot. But I tend to add a little bit of water to my paints because they dry out like it's nobody's business here. So I always add a little bit of more water to my paint, which makes it a little bit more, well, watered down. Which makes this part rather easy. I decided to repaint the highest parts of the model and khorne red again. And just leave the dark recessed bits, mostly nuln oil with a little bit hint of khorne red. You'll see it right now on the screen. And I really think this came out great. I don't really tend to do this, mostly because I have a lot of dwarves to paint. And definitely none but the rangers actually have cloaks, and they're not as detailed as this cloak. And because I love Durin, don't know if you noticed, he is an amazing dwarf. So he deserved this little bit more attention, at least in my opinion. And this is the end result, one fine looking dwarf if you ask me. And he's ready to command his vast army of dwarves. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you want. I'll once again ask if you're interested in, well, discover Napoleonics with me. I am currently painting some Napoleonics as well. Maybe I'll post a picture here of my test model. It's the only one I have fully painted so far. I'm really liking it. I have been crazy about the Napoleonic era for as long as I can remember pretty much. And because I'm from Belgium, the Battle of Waterloo really, well, fascinated me. And yeah, I wanna delve into it a little bit deeper. So If you want to see more, let me know. Maybe I'll do a poll, maybe I don't, because I'm really starting from scratch here. So yeah, I'm hoping to see you in the next one. Bye.